Hey y'all, it's Bridget from Bougie Texas BBQ, and today we're taking brisket to a whole new level. Bison brisket. Leaner than beef, packed with rich flavor, and a true nod to American cooking. I hope y'all are ready because I definitely am, so let's get into it. To begin, we need to balance the natural leanness of this bison brisket, and that's going to be with the right smoke, seasoning, and a low and slow technique. That's why I'm choosing to use wood chunks that are a whiskey barrel and a cherry wood. Cherry wood is going to help with color, while the whiskey barrel wood will give it a warm, toasty aroma. And for the smoking technique, we are going low and slow at 225 degrees. I am taking a couple extra precautions by adding a wood log on my hot spot and some water pans to protect the bottom of my brisket. I plan on placing it on the top rack, which is actually closer between 200 to 215 degrees. In case you didn't know why bison is so lean, bison naturally carry less fat because of how they live and grow. Cattle are often grain-fed and bred for fat and marbling, unlike bison, which are typically grass-fed, free-ranging animals. All that movement builds muscle versus fat, which explains why the meat is so lean. Okay, let's get into breaking down this brisket. Right off the bat, you can notice how much more leaner it is than traditional beef brisket. Because there is basically no fat on here, trim down only hard fat that won't render down and any thick pieces of silver skin. You're also going to want to square off any edges or any thin pieces that will just overcook and dry out. And that pretty much wraps up the trimming of this brisket. Now let's get into seasonings. We're gonna want to keep it simple. Salt and pepper, Texas style. And here's why you should only use salt and pepper. Bison naturally is rich and slightly sweet. Using a heavy rub will drown it out, and it will get in the way of building a bark, so only salt and pepper. And now I'm going to place my bison brisket on my Oklahoma Joe's Tahoma 900, and I'm going to let the Tahoma do all the work. So I'm going to let the Tahoma do its thing for about 4 to 5 hours. Those are the most crucial hours of any low and slow cook. And this is how my bark was looking at 5 hours in. It's looking good, but I want it a little bit darker, so I'm going to add a wireless probe and let it cook until it reaches the stall. And honestly guys, I really wasn't happy with the bark until around hour 7. The bark should be dark and should not rub off when you touch it. Normally, I don't wrap my briskets until they're off their smoker and ready to be rested. But because this bison is so much leaner than beef, and it doesn't have that fat to protect it during this long cook, this wrap is going to do two things. It's going to lock in moisture, and it's going to help push this bison through the stall. And when I tell you guys, it was a super long stall. It honestly blew my mind how long it was. Here's a pro tip. By adding beef tallow into your wrap, it will not only re-moisten your bark, but it's going to add an extra beefy richness to your brisket. Just saying. And once I'm done wrapping, I'm going to place the brisket back onto the smoker, still at 225 until it reaches 203 to 205, or until probe tender. Alright, in the moment of truth, let's get into slicing this brisket. As I sliced into it, it felt super tender, and the bark that I built early on is still holding strong. And we can't deny that beautiful smoke ring. I did allow my brisket to rest until it dropped to an internal temp of 150 degrees. Total smoke time was 12 hours at 225 degrees. I know that's a long time, but it had an insanely long stall. But the results were absolutely worth it. So, for future cooks, I would absolutely recommend either doing this as an overnight cook on the Tahoma, or by getting your butt up early so it's done in time without compromising your rest time. Because remember, resting time usually ranges anywhere between 2 to 4 hours on top of your smoke time. Just keep that in mind. And that covers the breakdown of smoking a bison brisket. You can even perform this on a regular brisket and the results are going to still be amazing, regardless of what type of brisket it is. And the beauty of this type of cook is you can enjoy it as is, or you can take it to the next level with a little Texas twist, especially with all these game days that are coming up. And of course, using an auto feed charcoal smoker makes it so much easier when you're entertaining your guests, or if you don't feel like managing a fire all day. This is where a smoker like the Tahoma 900 is so vital in your game day cooks. So if you decide to smoke this brisket the day before or even overnight, I'm thinking about this little Texas twist. How about some smoked Texas Twinkie potato skins? Crispy potato boats stuffed with jalapeno cream cheese, loaded up, and I mean loaded up with that chopped bison brisket, your choice of cheese blend, and bacon. It has to be freshly cooked bacon. Nothing tastes better. You're gonna get creamy, smoky, spicy, and savory all in one bite. Whether you keep it classic or turn it into the ultimate game day appetizer, this bison brisket delivers. Don't forget to check out the details down below. Till next time, guys, enjoy.